Your local news 1 hour earlier. WFXG Fox 54 News Now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight on Fox 54 News at 10. I'm Trent Butler.
And I'm Abby Bradshaw. Kimberly Scott has the night off.
For the first time in American history, a House Speaker has been removed. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy voted out of his seat today. The vote 216 to 210, led by Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. 8 Republicans voted to remove him along with a majority of Democrats. Conservatives wanted to strip the Speaker of his role after McCarthy's reliance on Democrats to get the necessary votes to avoid a government shutdown last week. A vote to remove a Speaker of the House has not taken place in more than 100 years. This is the first time, though, that a vote has been successful. The House will have to elect a new Speaker, but it will be a challenge for anyone to gain enough support among both parties to win the gavel. Stay tuned, because in just a few moments you will hear from former Speaker McCarthy to get his reaction to this historic event.
And here at home, attorneys for former Augusta Commissioner Sammy Sias have filed to appeal his conviction. Sias was convicted in August 2022 of possessing destroyed or falsified records in a federal investigation and giving a false statement. After a denied request for a new trial, Sias was sentenced to 36 months in prison, where he has since reported. And this new appeal, his attorney claims the court made a mistake in considering his motions for acquittal and a new trial. The appeal puts attention on thumb drives Sias's initial attorneys handed over. He believes those may have contained material, despite an agency claiming it was destroyed.
Good evening, everyone. To take a look at our current Doppler radar, we are quiet, and we've been that way for several days now. We're going to go into the middle of this week, coming in on Wednesday, tomorrow, much of the same what we saw for today. From Interstate 95, 26, 85, 485, Interstate 20, all the way down into Interstate 10 into the Florida Panhandle area. Dry conditions, and the winds are fairly calm in just about all of our reporting areas on both sides of the river. Take a look at our current temperatures now. We are 68 degrees in Edgefield. We have 68 in Louisville, also in Millen, 69 in Swainsboro. Allendale is holding at about 68 and 71 degrees around the Evans area. Evans for tonight down to about 62, 59 for Augusta, a little bit on the chilly side, 60 in Louisville and 60 around the Washington area. Now at the airport, we are clear and 64. These temperatures will be dipping back into the upper 50s coming up in the middle of the night, say about 2 a.m. for tomorrow morning. Take a look at those conditions up there, and of course we actually have it looking like it's just going to freeze up there for you. So we'll give you that latest information coming up in just a few minutes. We got to talk about the tropics and your 7-day forecast. Wait till you see this cool down. Let's get back to our news now. Here's Trent.
Looking forward to it. Jay, thank you. The Augusta Commission deciding this afternoon to rename the city's Riverwalk and its plaza after former Mayor Ed McIntyre. But not everyone there today supported the change. Fox 54's Ansley Edwards lets you hear from both sides.
It will now be known as Edward M. McIntyre Senior Riverwalk Park and Edward M. McIntyre Senior Square at 8th Street. Since this conversation started, it's created some division in the community, but the commission ultimately decided voting in favor is what's best for the community.
We haven't had anybody with the vision that McIntyre had. You got the Riverwalk, you've got the Civic Center, and it wasn't until recently that somebody told me that he had a lot to do with the bridges that go over the railroad tracks. So we haven't had anybody with that type of vision.
Commissioners decided it was only fitting to rename it in his honor. McIntyre was the first black mayor of Augusta and a champion for the creation of the Riverwalk and the first Civic Center. Along with it, they also approved renaming the Utilities Building after former director Thomas D. Widmeyer, as well as a Diamond Lakes baseball field after former Commissioner Andrew Cheek. Despite the Riverwalk decision, some citizens in attendance felt McIntyre's time in federal prison for extortion should disqualify him this honor. Commissioner Wayne Guilfoyle and a few others on the dais called for no name change. Guilfoyle, who was initially in favor of all 3 name changes, says you will no longer see him support putting a name on a building or plaque in the future because of the division it's caused.
But I've been getting so many emails, Facebook, private messages, people calling my phone. It's causing a division. And so I'm at the stance at the point now where I just rather back away from all 3 because we don't need to divide in this city.
Other taxpayers in attendance say they wish their money would be used to invest and beautify the area instead of being used to change signage. From the studio, Ansley Edwards, Fox 54 News Now.
And speaking of changes, renovation at Augusta's Bell Auditorium is well underway. But will the 2,800-seat theater be a draw for artists, or will what some call an eyesore next door continue to be a deterrent? Augustans will have their chance to vote again on the James Brown Arena update next month. Augusta's Coliseum Authority says it's taking every opportunity ahead of time to educate the public on what's to come and how it, along with the Bell, can help bring a new level of tourism and entertainment despite failed attempts to fund a new arena before.
I don't think people didn't want the new arena. I think they didn't like the funding mechanism. And really, as a Coliseum Authority member and chairman of the new arena committee, I think it was a blessing because this is a much better way to fund a new building.
Early voting starts next month for the half-cent referendum to renovate the JBA. Meanwhile, the Bell Auditorium is fully funded and expects to welcome acts next spring. In about 30 minutes, Fox 54's Lauren Young takes us inside.
Richmond County Commissioners getting ready for what is being described as an eye-opening tour as they will walk through the Charles B. Webster Detention Center tomorrow morning. Commissioners have heard from those inside the jail and their family members about what they call poor conditions. Earlier this year, Augusta commissioners voted to pay $500,000 for emergency repairs and replacement of the appliances at the detention center. Before that, millions of dollars in repairs to the roof, locks, and camera security systems were finished in 2021. Commissioner Wayne Guilfoyle believes the tour, again, will be eye-opening.
Well, it's in desperate need of having some serious maintenance done on it. I actually had on the agenda about 3 weeks to a month ago to come up with financing to build a new pod to expand the jail and fix what we do have. Some reason we can't take care of what we have. Preventive maintenance is not in our policy for some reason.
The Augusta Commission will take up the conditions and treatment of inmates at the jail next week.
Kevin McCarthy expected that he would still be holding the gavel at the end of tonight, but that's not the case. Tonight, he is no longer the speaker.
Republican Representative Patrick McHenry of North Carolina is now the acting speaker, leaving lawmakers scrambling tonight trying to find a permanent replacement.
Fox's Rebecca Castor reports from Washington.
Kevin McCarthy making history, becoming the first House Speaker to be voted out of his leadership position.
I may have lost a vote today, but as I walk out of this chamber, I feel fortunate to have served the American people.
The congressional clash ending in a close vote of 216 to 210, with lawmakers pulling the gavel from House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
It's hereby declared vacant.
The rare effort was led by Florida GOP Congressman Matt Gaetz, who accused him of breaking promises he made to win the top job back in January, and for leaning on Democrats to pass a funding bill to stave off a government shutdown.
I think that this represents the ripping off of the Band-Aid, and that's what we need to do to get back on track.
Following a tense debate on the floor, 8 Republicans crossed party lines to unseat the speaker.
This is not left versus right. This is not ideological. This is about someone that we can trust, someone who will keep their word, someone that the American people can really trust in this leadership position.
The very members who were advocating for regular order have today stopped regular order.
Due to the unprecedented nature of the outcome, the next steps remain uncertain. But one thing is for sure.
I will not run for Speaker again. I'll have the conference pick somebody else.
House members meeting separately behind closed doors to discuss a path forward.
I will vote 15,000 more times for Hakeem Jeffries.
I think there's a lot to be seen over the next few days because there's so much at stake right now.
Until a new speaker is selected, all House business is completely paralyzed. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox 54 News Now.
Now, it's not all about politics tonight. If your children love to dribble and shoot, don't bounce. Straight ahead, where you can sign them up so they can chase their hoop dreams. Jay.
More news and weather coming up in just a moment. Today we got up to 86 degrees for the afternoon high. We started off early this morning at 55 degrees.
Download the Fox 54 News app today and make sure to enable the alerts.
The Fox 54 Weather Now Tower Cam Network, sponsored by Brighter Side Roofing.
Good evening once again. This is Interstate 20, exit 195 atop of the Hyatt Place. This is part of our Tower Cam network and steady track, but still going east and westbound. Earlier, downtown area, got to show you this beautiful sunset over the horizon. I slowed it up there for you so you can take a look at it. And then, of course, all the cities start lighting up. People are out and about enjoying this beautiful weather once again. Central portion of the U.S. is getting hit very hard. That's going to be associated with a cold front. By the time it reaches us, it's going to be a dry cold front, but cooler temperatures are headed our way. Explaining that in a moment. Kind of give you the update when it comes to our tropics. This is Tropical Storm Philippe. It still have winds there, 45 miles an hour. This is the 5 p.m. advisory. Therefore, it's moving off to the northwest at about 12 miles an hour. So here's the projected path, just smack right into, say, Bermuda coming in. And that is going to be arriving there by Friday by 3 p.m. in the afternoon as a tropical storm with winds there of about 55 miles an hour. No impact to the U.S. mainland area here for the United States into the southeast region. So another beautiful day is headed our way. We pick up some cloud coverage. We get into late Wednesday night into Thursday. We change those skies from sunny to partly cloudy skies. Here come that rush and maybe a little spotty shower in the corner, Barnwell, Bamberg, and Allendale. Other than that, we still should remain very dry. I'm going to get about a 10% chance for a little pop-up shower or two. Not everybody would actually see it. From Aiken back over to Hepzibah, into Gracewood, Grovetown, Highway 1 into Evans and Appling. Dry conditions will continue to prevail. Now, we'll continue with these dry conditions. We don't have anything really out there to push anything through except for our cold front that's coming in as early as, say, Saturday. All right, the fall foliage, we're into November. We still got about a month and a half left before we start seeing these colors changing on our various trees and plants across the deep southeast. 66 degrees Waynesboro. These are current temperatures now. 66 and 69 in Evans, 67 in Edgefield, 66 in Aiken. Louisville of 68 degrees, but a little bit warmer in Swainsboro. That temperature there about 70. They'll get up to 84 degrees tomorrow, 83 degrees in Evan. McCormick of 83 and 83 also around, say, Edgefield with 80 in Aiken. Now, by Thursday, our temperatures will be in the low 80s, and we're starting to see a little bit more of the cloud cover across the region. So here's the breakdown. Mostly clear skies for tonight at 59. Now, the winds will be out of the east at about 3 to 5 miles an hour. It will be a chilly and a dry night ahead. For tomorrow, a carbon copy of what we had for today. Sunny skies in 84, northeast wind about 5 to 10. Look at our sunrise and sunset, 7:24 and 7:09. Days are getting shorter. It will be a beautiful fall afternoon. 7-day forecast, mostly sunny on Thursday, 83, 82 on Friday. Don't forget to check out the score. Yeah, on Fox 54. I'm loving that show there, 82. By Saturday, we're partly cloudy and 79. A cold front pushes through, 71 for the high on Sunday, and then 48 degrees sunny night into early Monday morning, 74 on Monday, and back up to 80 degrees there on Tuesday under sunny skies. Trent?
Okay, thank you. Great news for young athletes in Aiken right now. Registration will open up for youth basketball starting next week. Aiken's Recreation Department opening up registration Tuesday, October the 10th. So basketball leagues are available for kids ages 5 through 18. Co-ed and girls-only leagues also available. To sign up, you will need to grab the athlete's birth certificate, $65, and head to the Odell Weeks Rec Center. You can also apply online if you'd like on the City of Aiken's website.
Early detection is key to saving lives. Up next, we're showing you new technology finding more cancers earlier than before. According to the American Cancer Society, more than 610,000 people are expected to die from cancer each year in the U.S. But a new tool at Wellstar MCG Health may be able to help catch it before it's too late. Tonight, the importance of getting screened.
At this point, it's not whether or not I'll be here for my daughter. It's I will be here for her for however long, more than decades and decades.
Katie King was getting ready to welcome her baby girl into the world when the big C came into the picture.
I'm 32, I'm relatively healthy. I was, in my second trimester, about to be in my third trimester of pregnancy, and everything had been going really well.
When you got that news, what was just some of the first thoughts and feelings that came over you, especially with about to have a baby?
My biggest concern was how my baby would be, whether or not this would have any effect on her.
Her baby also keeps her going.
Knowing that I have her means I will do whatever it takes to be here for her.
That's what moms do. Before this diagnosis, Katie kept regular preventative appointments, knowing timing is everything.
There's no telling if or when it can hit.
Something Dr. Brandy Gonzalez also recognizes.
The vast majority of cancers that are out there, more than 70% of cancer deaths, are actually for cancers that there was no screening available.
But now that's changing. Wellstar MCG Health is now the first in the region to offer Gallery, an early detection blood test.
This is groundbreaking. It is amazing that we can actually do this.
It tests for 50 different types, some that didn't have screenings before.
Pancreatic cancer. That's a cancer that by the time you have symptoms and it's found, it's usually stage 4.
But it's not for everybody. Dr. Gonzalez says Gallery is for people already high risk, not in replacement of routine screenings, but with.
But what they have seen is that their time to diagnosis for cancer has drastically shrunk. There's even one health system that has it down to 9 days.
Regardless, Dr. Gonzalez encourages you to get screened if you're due, as many have not done so since the pandemic.
People were avoiding being seen by providers to get those screenings done. So we are playing a bit of catch up because of the pandemic. We have resolved the bulk of the backlog from the pandemic, and we've really worked hard in order to do that.
Take it from Katie.
Never ever wait or postpone. With my specific type of cancer, if it hadn't been caught when it would more than likely have spread to multiple different organs within a couple of weeks, if not months. That screening is 100% the difference of living and dying.
Now, Gallery still requires FDA authorization, so that means if you opt for it now, the cost comes out of pocket.
It's great, though, that they have that technology available now. Well, coming up tonight, a local athlete will join some elite company at the Masters this spring. Up next on Fox 54 News, we get to tee up an update on drive, chip, and putt. We also talk weather with Jay.
News and weather in just a moment. Got to take a look at these temperatures across the area with the outdoor forecast, sponsored by Augusta Regional Airport.
Exciting news for golf fans as 80 junior golfers have qualified for this coming year's Drive, Chip, and Putt National Finals in Augusta. Drive, Chip, and Putt puts those skills to the ultimate test at Augusta National Golf Club every year to kick off the Masters tournament. 31 states, a Canadian province, and Australia will be represented, and the list includes Kip Madison from Evans, Georgia, who will compete in the boys 12 to 13 age group. And this will be the 10th year the Augusta National Golf Club has hosted the Drive, Chip, and Putt along with the USGA and the PGA.
The Fox 54 Weather Now Tower Cam Network, sponsored by Brighter Side Roofing.
We do have a couple warm spots there for you, and that's going to be around Evans of about 69. We also have 70 degrees in Bamberg and 70 degrees down around Swainsboro. Other than that, we are pretty much seasonal for this time of the hour here on this Tuesday evening, and also dry out of Aiken, Barnwell, Bamberg, and Allendale, up around McCormick into Saluda, some Washington, portions of Thompson, looking pretty good. Now, the 3-day forecast is looking good. Tomorrow it's going to be sunny and temperature of 84, no problem, 61 overnight low. Thursday, a few more clouds in the atmosphere, so I'm going to call it mostly sunny, that temperature there of about 83. And then on Friday to start the weekend, partly cloudy skies in 82. Here's where they get to change. Cold front comes through, high temperature of only 79 on Saturday, sunny skies on Sunday and 71, but look at the major drop. We go from 61 degrees Wednesday night into Thursday morning to 48 Sunday night into Monday morning, but the sunshine is back and the 80s will return by Tuesday of next week. Abby?
Get ready for it to get chilly. Thanks, Jay. Coming up in our next half hour, changes on the way for one of Augusta's entertainment venues. But what about the city's biggest arena? We'll show you the latest. Plus,
once people pay their debt to society, we ought to be helping them get back to becoming productive members of society.
A second chance. The Augusta Judicial Circuit wants to help people with a criminal record have a new chance to succeed. All that and much more in the next half hour of Fox 54 News at 10.
local news 1 hour earlier. WFXG Fox 54 News Now.
And welcome back. Thanks for staying with us tonight on Fox 54 News at 10. I'm Abby Bradshaw.
And I'm Trent Butler. Right now, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office continuing the search for a suspect after a woman was found shot to death this afternoon. Deputies tell us that when they arrived here on this scene of the home on Maxwell Street, they found a 33-year-old woman named Precious Datnack suffering from at least one gunshot wound. The coroner, Mark Bowen, confirms the woman was pronounced dead at the scene. The Sheriff's Office tells Fox 54 they don't have any suspects at this hour, but we'll update you as soon as we get more details on air and also on the Fox 54 News app.
In Aiken, the Department of Public Safety needs your help tonight finding a burglary suspect. This is Joshua Powell. Officials say he's wanted on 2 counts of burglaries at local convenience stores in the city over the past several months. If you know anything about these burglaries or you know where he is, call the Aiken Department of Public Safety.
Once again, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us here on this Say Tuesday as we take a look at our conditions across the area. Here's that cold front that's going to be sweeping across the eastern portion of the U.S., giving us some much colder temperatures as we approach the weekend. It's going to be a dry cold front for us. A lot of shower activity and severe to strong thunderstorms up around the Black Hills of the Dakotas all the way down into, say, Oklahoma. We do continue to have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect that goes until about midnight. That's going to be Central Time. We do not have any watches and or warnings posted in our general area from Interstate 85 all the way down into Interstate 1075, the Baba Jones Expressway, Interstate 20 east and also westbound. Our winds are fairly calm for it tonight. They'll stay that way. They'll be out of the northeast for it tomorrow, about 5 to 8 miles an hour. 69 degrees currently in Evans to 67 in Edgefield. Outside of our viewing area, Columbia, South Carolina, 69. All the way to the south we go, Statesboro of 65 and 67 in Swainsboro, with Washington, Georgia now up 65 degrees. Now lows for tonight will be 58 to about 61 degrees across both sides of the river, 62 for Evans and 60 degrees there in Edgefield along with Aiken. So our temperature at the airport, we are still clear. We have the clear skies, 64. Temperatures are dropping slowly. Throughout the night, we're looking up pretty good. As a matter of fact, coming up at about 5 a.m., we're talking clear skies, and that temperature of 65 degrees, and the winds out of the northeast at about 4. When we come back, we'll talk about this changing 7-day forecast. Back to our news. Here's Trent.
All right, Jay, thank you. Now to the very latest on the renovation of Augusta's Bell Auditorium. The improvements well underway for the 2,800-seat theater. But tonight, some are also wondering, so what will happen to the arena next door?
Fox 54's Lauren Young has a look at 2 things for us tonight. 1, Bell Auditorium renovations, and 2, a decision about the James Brown Arena you'll get to make next month.
The theme of this construction project has been behind the curtain. So today, I'm taking you behind the curtain of the new Bell Auditorium. Let's check it out.
That theme of behind the curtain, they're going to carry that through here, and then when the JBA is redone, this corridor will continue all the way and connect to the JBA.
The construction crew and planners responsible for the renovation of Augusta's Bell Auditorium speak with confidence that this is only phase 1 of a much bigger effort. But that decision belongs to the voters in Richmond County.
Is there any part of you that's concerned that people will vote no?
You know, I'm a very positive person. We're educating folks, and we just want people to vote.
If you have all of the information and all of the facts in front of you, I think the November decision should be an easy one.
Augustans have had some opinions on the city's largest event venue. During Mayor Hardy Davis's term, residents voted not to move the arena to the Regency Mall site. 2 years ago, voters rejected a bond referendum to fund a rebuild. Now, Brad Usry of the Coliseum Authority says a 0.5% sales tax may be the plan Augustans will favor.
I don't think people didn't want the new arena. I think they didn't like the funding mechanism. And really, as a Coliseum Authority member and chairman of the new arena committee, I think it was a blessing because this is a much better way to fund a new building.
For now, the Bell Auditorium, funded by SPLOST dollars allocated by the Commission, stands as an example of what Augusta's entertainment district can offer to citizens and tourists. Some of the updates include conveniences for those familiar with the venue, more restrooms, and expanded VIP offerings. Other new features officials anticipate will draw new and bigger acts to the Garden City.
With only stairs like these connecting 3 levels of dressing rooms to the green room, many artists complained, preferring instead an elevator. We'll get one in the new Bell Auditorium.
But not everything is new. Take a look at the flooring, which McKnight Construction says appears to be original to the building. They hope to restore it to welcome guests to the theater for many more decades to come.
Keeping history, but also modernizing and giving us the modern conveniences we need.
Speaking of history, sports fans in Augusta will remember a time when arena football and ice hockey had a home inside James Brown Arena.
Opportunities are endless. Now obviously the citizens get to decide November, and then contracts and the bottom line get to decide what teams come here and which ones don't.
We've had a conversation with a potential owner with the East Coast Hockey League, and he's a very successful owner in other markets. If you're a hockey fan, hopefully you'll vote yes on this, because without a new arena, we certainly won't have ice.
Construction is expected to be complete early next year on the Bell Auditorium. Meanwhile, citizens of Augusta Richmond County will have a decision to make regarding the future of the James Brown Arena coming in November. Reporting from Augusta's entertainment complex, I'm Lauren Young for Fox 54 News Now.
Driving in Columbia County, take note of these lane closures. The first one is on South Old Bel Air Road between Wendell Lane and Old Bel Air Lane. Construction starts Friday morning at 9 and lasts through Monday, October 9th. That is weather permitting, of course. There will be only one lane open, so you'll want to go another way if you can. The second lane closure is on Hereford Farm Road. It shifts the southbound lane to the west side of the roadway near the intersection of Columbia Road. This is part of the Lewiston Road widening project. This work starts Monday, October 9th.
The Augusta Judicial Circuit offering Burke and Richmond County residents a new resource that can help them get a second chance. The Second Chance Desk's goal is to provide free advice and assistance to people about their criminal history and show them how they can restrict and seal criminal records in those counties. Richmond County's District Attorney Jared Williams tells Fox 54 this is an important resource because it can help those impacted find a job.
Once people pay their debt to society, we ought to be helping them get back to becoming productive members of society. By being able to restrict their records, it gives employers an opportunity to be confident in the fact that their person has already paid their debt to society and is ready to be a good worker.
Those interested in the Second Chance Desk have to pre-register for an appointment online. The appointment registration opens up on the first Monday of every month.
Looking live at New York now, where the judge overseeing former President Trump's civil fraud trial issued a partial gag order. Fox's Anna Eliopoulos has the very latest.
Former President Donald Trump saying very little as he wrapped up day 2 of his business fraud trial in New York. His swift exit came after he, his attorneys, and the state spent nearly 20 minutes with Judge Arthur Engoron behind closed doors after court adjourned Tuesday. Details of the private talks have not been released, but it comes just hours after the judge issued a partial gag order barring defendants from verbally attacking court staff. Engoron saying in part, quote, "Personal attacks on members of my court staff are unacceptable, not appropriate, and I will not tolerate them." The order came after the former president posted a message on social media attacking a court aide. Trump included a picture of the woman with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, calling the staffer Schumer's girlfriend and accusing her of running the case against him. The post was later taken down.
The financial statements are very strong in terms of cash, liquidity, and everything else. This case is a scam.
Earlier in the day, Trump also continued defending his financial records after spending hours listening to his longtime accountant, Donald Bender, testifying in court. Bender telling a judge Trump's company supplied the numbers that went into financial documents. Trump's legal team, however, alleges those documents included a disclaimer warning numbers shouldn't be trusted. The state argues Trump, his 2 sons, and his businesses inflated his net worth, deceiving banks to get better loans and insurance policies.
There was absolutely no fraud. They all make money. They're all happy.
Bender is expected to be back on the stand tomorrow for cross-examination. In New York, Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
We are following changes tonight that affect thousands of high school athletes in Georgia, from the playoffs to profits. We're sharing the latest developments next on Fox 54 News. Jay.
Well, we got some current temperatures we want to pass along to you. We do have clear skies all across the board. 64 at Aiken Regional, Daniel Field, 74 and 64 at Aiken Regional.
Download the Fox 54 News app today and make sure to enable the alerts.
The Fox 54 Weather Now Tower Cam Network, sponsored by Brighter Side Roofing.
And this is right outside the studios. That's Columbia Road that you see. We are on Washington Road, adjacent to that. And of course, the lights all lit up as you get into the downtown Augusta metropolitan area. Evanstown Center is all lit up and nice and quiet for the most part. This is out of North Augusta Highway 25, and these roads still remaining very dry. We don't really need any rain because we're a little over 17 inches above normal for this time of the year, so we've had our share of it. Here's the breakdown for you. We do have dry conditions all across from Highway 178, 278, Highway 1 and 25. Our temperatures there as we get into the midnight hours there of clear and 70. By 3 a.m. we look for 67 degrees. As we work our way to 7, clear skies, sunny conditions, and 64. And then 9 a.m. you can see this temperature there, mostly sunny skies. Here's a quick tropical update. This is at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. advisory is in. This is still a tropical storm Philippe. No threat to the U.S. mainland area. Has winds of 45 miles an hour. It is moving northwest at about 12 miles an hour. So I'm going to show you the projected path of what the National Hurricane Center taking it directly into, say, Bermuda, with winds there of about 50 miles an hour. Still will remain a tropical storm. So that's going to be for the major problems there. It's going to be a big rainmaker for them. Remember, Bermuda is only 22 miles wide, so it's a very small island sitting in a body of water into the Atlantic. From Shreveport, Louisiana, all the way over into the Mississippi Valley, not too bad. Showers are well to the west of that. Most of these showers will stay offshore, will not kind of put its way back into the CSRA. Here we are with partly cloudy skies as we get into Thursday. So our rain chance is only about a 10% chance across the other area. Then we wait on the arrival of the cold front, and notice now from Birmingham, we're starting to see those showers and thunderstorms. By the time that cold front gets here, it would be a dry cold front for us and also a much colder condition. So we're anticipating that going into the latter part of the weekend. From Appling back over to Deering, Highway 221, we still remain pretty dry. So here's our rain chances for the next 7 days. Just a stray shower, that's less than 10% chance. Really dry coming in on Sunday, and a stray shower for the work and school week for next week. 68 degrees currently now in Evans, 66 in Millen, 66 in Allendale. We have 70 in Bamberg, also 67 degrees there in Louisville, and 66 in Edgefield. Edgefield for tomorrow, we get up to a pleasant 83, keeping company with Evans and also Fort Gordon, 84 for Augusta, 83 in Thompson, and 83 around Allendale. The next couple of days, Thursday is going to be much of a carbon copy when it comes to our temperatures, much for the same. So the breakdown for tonight, mostly clear skies and 59 with the east wind of 3 to 5 miles an hour. Now tomorrow, we'll get up to 84. We'll have plenty of sunshine, and our sunrise take place at 7:24, the sunset at 7:09. Beautiful fall afternoon is anticipated. Again, tomorrow 84, Thursday mostly sunny and 83. As we start the weekend, look for partly cloudy skies in 82. There's where it changes. Cold front comes in and change everything. High temperatures will be in the 70s, overnight temperature in the upper 40s to the low 50s. But notice by Tuesday of next week, we're back to sunny skies and still dry, and high temperature of 80 degrees. Back over to you, Trent.
Hey, how about those changes, Jay? Thank you. Well, big news to talk about tonight that affects Georgia high school sports. Private schools will not play against public schools in the playoffs next year. Georgia High School Association voting to split public and private school playoffs in the following classes: single A, double A, and triple A. The plan will not affect regular season play between private schools and public schools, meaning schools like Aquinas and Lincoln County could still play each other. But now each public school class will have its own championships, while the private schools, triple A and lower, will have their own championships in each sport. The vote passed 12-2 in favor of the changes. Georgia High School Association also announcing that high school athletes will be able to profit on their name, image, and likeness. The ruling Does come with some rules, though. The athletes can not use their school logos or wear any school apparel in their merchandise. In Georgia, by the way, is the 30th state to allow student athletes to profit off their name, image, and likeness.
If there's anything that can bring people together, it's a good cup of coffee. Throw in a donut, everyone's smiling. Ahead on Fox 54 News, we're brewing up the latest details on tomorrow's Coffee with a Cop. Get ready for National Coffee with a Cop Day. Aiken Parks Recreation and Tourism preparing to host its annual event tomorrow. The Aiken Department of Public Safety hosts the event at the Leslie B. Price Aiken Senior and Youth Center. It will bring officers and the community they serve together to talk about issues and just get to know each other. Here's what to expect from Aiken Parks Recreation and Tourism's Program Director, Brian Logging.
They meet over a cup of coffee and maybe donuts or some sort of pastries, and they talk about what it is they're doing in the community, find out from the community how they're doing, get a response from them. Also, they're able to sit down, and if there's any discussion that the community members would like to have with them, it's just a nice, easy, low-pressure setting where people can ask questions and get comments from the officers, and also be able to find out from the officers if there's anything they can do that would help them better serve the community.
Okay, so make sure you mark your calendars for that one. He says this event grows more and more every year.
USC Aiken hosting Family Day on campus this Saturday, and at the event, the university will be hosting a barbecue lunch and a variety of games like soccer matches and a pickleball tournament, plus a number of vendors will be there to make sure that you don't go hungry. The event free for all USC Aiken students and children under 5. University selling tickets for family members at $45.
Congratulations are in order to 2 McDuffie County schools being named Title I Reward Schools. J.A. Maxwell and Thompson Elementary Schools were in the top 5% of Title I schools in Georgia. Title I schools show the greatest amount of progress for student achievement on statewide test scores. The school system says, quote, the diligence of both schools is shared throughout the McDuffie County school system, where all team members are committed to ensuring graduates are prepared for college, careers, and life.
Rising to the occasion by dropping to the earth from thousands of feet up. Up next on Fox 54 News, we're about to show you why you're never too old to set a world record. Can't wait to show you this Chicago woman hoping to reach new heights as the world's oldest skydiver. 104 years old, Dorothy Hoffner, there she is. She's about to take the plunge over the weekend in Ottawa, Illinois, trying to break a Guinness World Record. Wait until you see this video capturing Hoffner making the tandem jump. That's what she saw before
that makes my stomach drop.
Jumped out. There she goes. She's tethered to a certified instructor. This is more than 13,000 feet up in the air. She completes her journey, landing safe and sound. Fortunately, fans below, you can't hear them yet because there's all that wind. Fans cheering as she floated on down. And so now what they have to do. Yeah, she's just loving it. I guess she is. I would be like, just get me down. But they have to work with Guinness World Records to certify her jump. The oldest record right now for the record, I should say the record for the oldest skydiver was set back in May of last year by a woman who was 103 from Sweden. And there she goes. Oh, what a great landing. Very nice. Wow. And that is an experience she will never, ever forget.
As soon as that camera panned down, looking out of the plane, I could just feel my stomach doing flips. So I am not prepared to do something like that.
So Jay, we're just youngins compared to her. So you ready to get in the...
Get strapped up, Jay.
We have the FOX54 crop duster that will take us up.
No way. And the first person push me out the plane, there's going to be some furniture moving up.
You push me out, you coming with me.
As they say, why you want to jump out of a perfectly nice plane?
Good point.
I'm staying in the plane, buckled.
I see both sides. Yeah, I prefer to be on the ground cheering her as she lands.
The best thing to do is don't even go in the plane and put on a parachute.
There you go.
That way, just stay on the ground and just look
watch.
up.
And just watch the weather from the ground.
Yeah, that's right.
That's incredible, though, and it was a clean arrival on the ground, too.
Very, very impressed.
No injuries.
104, so she had to have a good heart, good lungs,
right?
Because she was high in the atmosphere.
13,000 feet.
Yeah, where the atmosphere, of course, at altitude is kind of thin.
Yeah.
Very thin.
I was thinking even at my age going down, I'd probably have a heart attack or two, like, what is happening? Scary.
The question is, does she go back at 105 and do it again?
Keep living.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
Take a look at our forecast. Don't look for me to go. It just ain't going to happen. Here is that planner coming in for the middle of the week. We're going to start off at about 7 a.m. Look at there, dark, but it's a clear and 64 degrees. By noontime, look at our sky condition. It's going to be sunny and 78. Another beautiful day headed for Wednesday, the middle of the week. Sunny skies in 82 by 3 p.m. And then even 7 p.m. is looking good, sunny and 78 degrees. So I am forecasting a high temperature for tomorrow of 84. Normally we should be about 83. The record is 101. That was set back in the year of 2019. So our sunrise, if you're keeping up with it, will take place at 7:24 a.m. tomorrow morning. The sunset will be at 7:09. Now here what you need for tomorrow morning: jacket, sweater, for the morning hours, and then you're going to take that off because it's going to be beautiful in the afternoon. Don't forget your sunglasses because we have plenty of sun to deal with. Very quickly, your car wash forecasts have not changed. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we look really nice. Only a 10% chance for any type of precipitation, and much of that's not even going to reach the ground at all. We'll have more on this in your 7-day forecast, but I want to remind you, your news and weather at 11 p.m. It starts right now.